Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jai Hind, and I welcome you all to this session. So, I hope that I am properly audible and visible to all of you. So, I welcome you all to this session, and in today's session, again, we are going to discuss three different articles. The first article is going to be with respect to securing the Bab al Mandeb Strait. We are going to talk about this one thing, that securing the Bab al Mandeb Strait. This is going to be our first topic. The second topic is going to be about the trade deals. That our trade deals which are they uh, do we need to go in a hasty manner for it? Do we need to conclude it at earliest, or we need to also examine the other factors? So that is the trade deal which we have to see. And the third part is again with respect to the voice of the youth. uh, this is part of your the JS paper 2. You know that the protest is going on, and with respect to that there is an article which is talking about why the parliament needs to listen to the voice of the people. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. Let us first start with this one. Okay. What is the core idea? The core idea here is India must secure, India must take lead in securing Bab al Mandeb. That India must take a lead in securing the Bab al Mandeb Strait. So I hope this is one thing which we have to discuss about. So now let us start with it. Let us see this Bab al Mandeb Strait. If you look at this one area, this is our Bab al Mandeb Strait here. This is our Bab al Mandeb here. We have the Djibouti here, we have Eritrea here, we have Somalia here, Ethiopia here. They are also called part of Horn of Africa. On this side, we are having the Yemen, and Yemen is having the Houthi forces. The Houthi forces which are there, they are very much prominent and a very important rebel group in this region. Okay. Now, what is the condition here? What is the ground condition? When we are talking about this one area, what is the ground condition? What is the ground condition? Here we have the Houthi forces. Here we are having the Houthi forces. They are often disrupting. They are often disrupting navigation. They are often disrupting this navigation through Bab al Mandeb Strait. That they are often disrupting this navigation to the Bab al Mandeb Strait. And particularly in the last 2-3 years, particularly from the time when Israel attacked on the Hamas. Okay. So since the Israel's attack on Hamas, it has been an active conflict zone. Okay. Since the time of Israel and Hamas conflict, since this Israel and Hamas conflict, what we see that it has been frequently disturbed. So this area has remained frequently disturbed during this time. Okay. During this time, this area has been frequently disturbed. So this is one of the strait, Bab al Mandeb Strait, which has been frequently disturbed. Now, what we see, there is another factor which we have to understand, that Iran, it is being said that the Houthis, it is being said that they are allegedly supported by Iran. So there is an allegation that they are being supported by Iran. Okay. There is an allegation that they are being supported by Iran. Now you can see here we have the Strait of Hormuz. This is a conflict zone. This is a conflict zone. And now we see that this is also getting frequently disturbed. This is something which is getting frequently disturbed. Now, why this is a matter of concern for India? Why this is a matter of concern for India? What we see that India's 1/3 of the trade passes through this Bab al Mandeb Strait. Okay. We see that 1/3 of India's trade passes through this route. Okay. So, why this is a concern for India? Concern for India? Why this is a concern for India? We see that 1/3 of India's trade passes through this region. Passes through this route. Now, you may have also seen that recently we have seen that we have got deals. Recently, we have seen that we have got deals with that of UK also, that of European Union also. We have got trade deals with, we have got trade deals with UK also. We have got trade deals with European Union also. Okay. So, what we see here that due to this trade deal, now we have a heavy dependence on these routes. How we are going to access the market of UK? How are we going to access the market of European Union if the trade routes are not secure? Okay. So, this is something which is particularly challenging for, this is something which is challenging for successful implementation of India, European Union and India, UK deal. We can understand from here that this is going to be a concern for us. We have got a deal with United Kingdom also, we have got a deal with India and European Union also. But we see that this entire area is affected. This area is affected. So when this area is affected, when this area is not having a freedom of navigation, then it is going to become a challenging aspect for us. It is going to become a challenging aspect for us. So in this situation, what we will see that what can be our possible approach? What can be our possible approach? Let us try to see this, that what we can do in this situation. That we see that this area is a conflict zone. This area is a conflict zone. So what should be our approach? What approach should be taken by India? Okay. Now we see that it is being said that India should take the lead. India should take the lead in multinational maritime security coalition. Okay. So it is being said that when we talk about the way forward for India, that India should take lead. India should take lead in formation of multilateral maritime security coalition. That we have to take the lead here. This is our area. This is our area. This is our zone. This is where our trade passes through. So we need to come forward. We don't have to wait for the other power. We have a natural advantage. India is a member of IORA. India is a member of IORA. So it will be easier for us to mobilize it. Okay. So here you have to see another thing, that India should take advantage. India should take advantage of its leadership in IORA, Indian Ocean Rim Association. That first thing which we see, that what we need to do, we need to take the lead in the formation of a multilateral maritime security coalition. We should not be waiting for that US will come and do that, or France will come and do that, or Russia will come and do that, or China will come and do that. So what we see, that we need to come forward. Okay. We have a good coalition, we have a good partnership with multiple countries. Okay. Here you will find that there is a very interesting country, Djibouti over here. Okay. There is also a member, France. Okay. So we see that there is one part, India can form alliance. India can form coalition with Djibouti and France for security in this region. For security in this strait. Now see, this strait is also very much important for African nation. Especially if you look at this, for Saudi Arabia also, for Eritrea also, for Egypt also, for all these countries, this region is very much significant. On one side, we have the Houthi forces in Sana'a. The Houthi forces in Sana'a, they have their agenda. But the other countries which are there in this region, they also want peace, they also want development. And for that, if a country is taking the lead, then again we have some benefit. Okay. So what we see that, like, we need to also need of engagement. We have to need of engagement with Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. That we need to also collaborate with them, we need to also coordinate with them for security in this entire region. Even Egypt is having a huge loss. Egypt is also having a huge loss if this Bab el-Mandeb Strait is impacted. Because we have the Suez Canal over here. The main source of income, for Egypt. So we have the Suez Canal also over here. So if they also want the relevance to be maintained, then they also need a security in this region. So now it is an opportunity for India. This is something which is an opportunity for India. India should be using its leadership in the Indian Ocean region. India should be establishing a special protection task force. Okay. A theater specific trade protection task force. Okay. So India can go for, what we see that, the fifth point, that India can go for establishment of trade protection task force. That we can go for trade protection task force. See, sometimes there are moments in history when we have to come out of our comfort zone. We need to do something exceptional in order to gain that leadership. So if India wants to assume that leadership in the present world, we have to do something extra. We see that there is an active conflict in this region. The Strait of Hormuz is already impacted. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait is also going to be impacted. So what we see that in this context, we need to come forward, we need to take the lead, and we need to solve this crisis. We need to give the solution for this crisis rather than seeking the solution from someone else. So this is a leadership moment for India. I hope that is clear. I hope it is clear for everyone. Okay. So this is the first part. This is the first part. Key what we see in the case of the first editorial. This is our first editorial, which is with respect to India must lead in securing the Strait of Bab al Mandeb. So that is the first part which we have to see. On the basis of it, we have a question also. India possesses both the capability and the strategic responsibility to prevent another Red Sea shipping crisis. Discuss. So, since we are having our own navy also, a very powerful navy also in this region, we are having good relations with other countries also. So, we are having both the ability and the responsibility of saving this shipping crisis. Okay. So, this is the leadership opportunity for India in the Red Sea. This is the leadership opportunity for India in the Red Sea area. Now, the second part is about the trade deals. The second part is about the trade deals. Now, what we see that over the last 2 years, what we see that if we are going to talk about this one topic, what is the context? What we see as context that over the last 2 years, we see that there has been multiple free trade agreements or similar trade deals. We see that over the last 2 years, we have got many such trade deals or similar deals with multiple countries. We have got deal with India and European Union. India and European Union. We have got India and UK. We have got India and US. But that was part of an interim deal. It was an interim deal, not a final deal, but an interim deal. So we have got the India US also. We have got India UAE also. So these deals have been going on, and right now we have ongoing negotiation. We have ongoing negotiations of trade deal. We have this ongoing negotiations of trade deals like India and Gulf Cooperation Council. We have an ongoing trade deal with India and Gulf Cooperation Council. We have a trade deal going on with respect to India and Israel. Okay. India and Israel. India and Russia-led Eurasian Group. India and Russia-led Eurasian Group. We are also negotiating with that of India and ASEAN. We are also negotiating with ASEAN. So we see that we have got multiple such things which are going on right now. We have got multiple such deals which are going on right now. Some of the deals have also been concluded. Okay. Now, in this context, what we have to see, the main idea is like there is two part of it. In the case of trade deals, there is two part of it. One is the strategic advantage versus this short-term political achievement. Okay. So what we see that there are two sides of it. When we are talking about trade deals, So we need to prefer, we need to prefer strategic advantage or significance over short term political achievements. That we need to have a strategic advantage, we need to consider the strategic advantage over the short term political gains. Okay. So, so this is one of the main idea here. Now the thing is that why this thing is strategically being discussed. Okay. Why we are discussing this? See, in every editorial there is a story. A few, I think a few days back also, we have discussed this one thing, that why the India-US trade deal is significant for us. It's not that like you have to totally abide by this editorial. It is just one such viewpoint. Okay. So it is just one such viewpoint. It's not that you have to totally abide by it. It is just a viewpoint which you have to understand. Okay. We don't have to totally abide by it. This is just a viewpoint which we have to consider. So what is being advocated in this editorial? What is the crucial idea? What is the main theme? What is the main theme? That India-US trade deal is more advantageous as compared to others. It is being said that India-US trade deal is more advantageous as compared to others. Have we seen a similar article in the last week? आप में से जो लोग रेगुलर अटेंड करते हैं, I think we have seen a similar article last week also. Uh, Today I will take the class at 6 p.m. आज जो क्लास होगी वो 6 बजे होगी. In Hindi medium, the class will be at 6 p.m. I think you may have seen this one thing. Okay. So what we see that, like again the idea is this. Again we have this one idea that India-US trade deal is more advantageous as compared to others. Why? Okay. Why? One is India enjoys trade surplus. India enjoys trade surplus. That India is enjoying the trade surplus. Second, we see that we will have access to US market, and this is having high value market. This is something which is high value market. This is something which is high value market. What we also see that it is being advocated. It is being advocated that like we are having access to this US market, which is high value market. We also see that this is going to provide benefits. This is going to provide benefits to Indian professionals, Okay. It is also the major export destination even in present time. Even now, it is a major, we can say the largest export destination. Even now, it is our largest export destination. So what we see that when we are talking about US, it is being said that this is very much crucial. So many of the articles are coming nowadays which are proposing this. You have to understand, it's true that many a times the editorials which are provided, they are presenting just one side of the view. They are presenting just one side of the view. So you may have seen that it is being proposed regularly that India should go for US trade deal, India should go for US trade deal. So by looking at this editorial itself, you can understand that it is just pushing one agenda, it is just pushing one idea. It is not talking about the counter, it is not talking about the counter challenges. But from our exam perspective, it's a simple thing. Today we will have one editorial which is related to why India should go for US. In the previous sessions, we have seen multiple such articles that why India should no longer be trusting US, why we cannot trust the United States. So we have seen multiple such articles in the past that why we should not be trusting the US. And here this one article is saying that why we should go for uh, trade relations with US more importantly than with any other country. So yes, that is true, Himanshu, that if we are putting all our eggs in one single basket, it is going to be challenging. So it's not that we should go only for US India trade deal. In fact, the thing is, US is the most unreliable partner in the entire world. What we see that one of the major challenge, US, this is the most unreliable trade partner. We see that there is frequent change in policy, contrasting policies of different presidents. So we see that there is contrasting policies of different presidents, and at the same time, what we see that US wants access to agri market. US wants access to agri market, and what we see that in most of our deals, we have shielded So in most of our deals, we have shielded our sector. We have shielded this sector, but here it is being advocated that we should go for it. So this is one of the challenging aspect. Yes, of course, it is going to manage. It is going to help us to manage our trade deficit with China. But suppose if we are having a good trade relations with other countries of the world also, if we are increasing our exports with other nations of the world also, then also it can help us. So, solving one crisis by creating another crisis is not the solution. Solving one crisis by creating another one is not the solution. So, this is one of the part which we have to see. There are both angles of it. That why India should be going for it, why India should not be going for it. Okay. Now, at the same time, in general, suggestions for trade deal. In general, if you are looking at it, the suggestions for trade deal, that what suggestions are there for the trade deal, that what we should be doing. Okay, so we have to evaluate each and every trade provision strategically. Okay, so we need to evaluate each provision of trade deal strategically. That each and every part of the trade deal has to be evaluated. Okay. Like the clauses related to labor, digital trade, data governance. Okay. For example, labor, data, AI, etc. So we need to evaluate each and every provision of the trade deal. Okay. Then at the same time, we have to undertake domestic reforms proactively. We have to undertake domestic reforms proactively, because ultimately this all comes to one single thing: how much we are here, how much better economy we are having. If we are having a good economy, then only we can make a deal with other countries. Okay. Then what we see, that we have to also protecting we have to protect our technological we have to protect our technological sovereignty. Sovereignty. So we have to protect our technical sovereignty. We should not be providing that much access to any country. We should not be uh, like giving them so much favor that it becomes a challenge for us in the future. We should not become dependent on any country so much that it becomes a challenging part for us in the future. Then we have to also prioritize long term national interest. So we have to prioritize long term national interest. So we have to prioritize our long term national interest. So that is also something which is very much essential. We have to prioritize our long term national interest. So this is one of the demand. This is one of the main part, that what we should be doing. There will be multiple articles which will be coming in the next few months, which you will see that they will be somewhat in the favor of US deal. Some of them will be against it. From our exam perspective, we will try to see the best of both of them. तो हमें इसके फेवर में अगेंस्ट में नहीं जाना है. We have to find those points which we can write in the answer. I hope ये clear है आप सबको. So see, when you look at the editorials, you have to apply your own mind also. यहाँ जरूरी नहीं कि एक एडिटोरियल में जो लिखा हो उसी को हम पूरा मान लेंगे. We have to see all the possible portions, all the possible ideas. So this is also one thing which you have to understand by looking at the editorials, by looking at the articles. Is it clear? Okay. So these are the two topics first we have to see. Okay. Now on the basis of it also, India needs to carefully evaluate the implications of any trade deal before joining it, elucidate. We have to give examples here. You can take examples of multiple countries, that if we are having a trade deal with any country, so what we need to evaluate. You can give examples of India European Union deal also. You can give examples of India UK trade deal also. You can give example of India US trade deal also. So when the topic is elucidate, when this keyword is there, you have to give examples. You have to give examples. So whenever there is a keyword like elucidate, try to add certain examples. Okay. So should India trade strategy become more decentralized by giving export oriented? See, there is one part that we can go for decentralization, that is one thing, but Can there be a better policy making where we can take a bottom up approach rather than having a centralized or decentralized policy making? Can we have a collective policy making? Okay. What we see that instead of having a centralized or decentralized, can we have a cooperative? Can we have a cooperative policy making with respect to foreign policy or trade deals, so that the national agenda can also be there, plus at the same time there can be integration of all the states? नहीं 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 I am not saying नहीं नहीं I am not saying about your comment ओझा ओझा जी नहीं I am not saying about your comment. मैं सिंपल इसके बारे में बता रहा था. So I am not specifically like saying that what you have said. You have said that you have also written the answer to the question regarding India US deal. हाँ इंडिया यूएस डील के बारे में आपने लिखा था. तो that's not, I am not saying about that part. I'm not saying about that part. I'm saying in general, this editorial, multiple editorials are coming in the newspaper these days, which are particularly talking about, this one part, that India should go for US deal rather than any other deal. So that was what I was referring to, not your comment. Now, coming to this one part, the voice of the India's youth must be heard inside the parliament. So we have this ongoing issue. Last day we have a protest in Bihar also. I think you may have seen some clips. So what do you think? What is the main difference between the protest in Bihar and that in other part of the country? We have seen that a similar protest was also there in Bihar last day. So what do you think? What is the difference? It's more fun, है ना? I have seen one protester. I have seen one protester. He was demanding from the police that why you have not brought water cannons. एक प्रोटेस्टर ने पुलिस से पूछा था कि आप वाटर कैनन लेकर क्यों नहीं आए. दूसरे ने पूछा कि व्हाई यू हैव नॉट गॉट द टीयर गैस, आप टीयर गैस लेकर क्यों नहीं आए. कोई इंतजाम ही नहीं है. हाउ वी विल डू द प्रोटेस्ट if you are not having water cannons, if you are not having tear gas, then how are we going to protest? So there is a difference. Anyways, of course, now coming to this one thing, so we are seeing that there is an ongoing students protest. There is an ongoing student protest. So what we see that there is an ongoing student protest. There is multiple cases of violence, in various parts of the country. What we also see that a few times there has been police brutality also. We see that there has been a few times there has been police brutality also, and there has been Uh, you can say that there has been a very slow response by the government. There has been a slow response by the government. So they have not been actively listening to the students. They have not been actively listening to the students. If they would have listened to them, if they would have fulfilled at least a few demands of them, then it would not have come to this. Like suppose there were three basic demands. There were three basic demands, that resignation of a minister. There was also a demand of compensation to the victims. Those who have committed suicide because of neat paper leak, they should be compensated. The first and foremost thing that government should have done, the first and foremost thing which government should have done, it was a massive failure of the government when there was a neat paper leak. It was a massive failure. So when you fail, you have to cope up with that. You have to provide compensation. So when government was failing to conduct a proper examination in NEET, it was the first and foremost duty of the government that they should have compensated the victims. It was the first thing which they should have done without even asking. That the students should not have asked for it, they should have done it automatically, because it was a fault from the side of the government. If you are not able to conduct an exam in a proper manner, it is your fault. Okay. So they should have done it at the first time itself. So then it would not have come to this part. Now what we see that when there is a separation of the movement, when there is separation of movement, this leads to multiple challenges. There are multiple challenges. What are those multiple challenges? If we look at this, first of all, what we see that, like there is this one thing, the trust in democratic processes. The trust in democratic process, this will come down. The trust in government, the trust in government is going to come down. Okay. What we will see that if you're not allowing, the people, okay, this is also going to undermine the democratic values. This will undermine democratic values. Now some people will say that they do not agree with it. Some people will say that they do not agree with what the protesters are demanding. Their demand is absurd. Let us assume that whatever they are asking, that is absurd, that they should not be demanding it. Even if they are demanding something which is absurd, there is a core principle of democracy. There was one very popular statement: I detest what you say, but I will still protect your right to say that with my life. So in a democracy, the core principle is that even someone is saying something which is totally against your values, totally against the common conventions, still you have to protect the right of the person to say so. That is what democracy is all about. So we have written in our preamble, if you read the preamble, there is written that we are a democratic nation. In a democratic nation, that is the main idea, that the freedom of speech and expression is going to be preserved. Freedom of speech and expression is going to be preserved. So this is one of the part. Okay. So this is something which can weaken the public trust. Okay. It can weaken the public trust. It can weaken the public trust. It can weaken the public trust. You may have seen that many a times we have seen that the protesters who are there, they are sometimes offering the rose flower or some other thing to the police personnel. Now we see that in this entire movement, the trust on the police is again gone. The trust in the police is again gone in multiple people. So now police has this prime duty. They have to win back the trust of the people. The police is not there to just do the lathi charge, or the police is not there just to suppress the people. They have to build a cordial relation with the public. The police should have instead started giving the roses to the protesters. That okay, keep here, keep calm here, stand here, sit here. We are going to protect you. We are going to safeguard your right to do so. We are also offering you roses and melodies and whatever. Okay. So this is something which we have to do. This is something which the police or the administration has to do. That you have to ensure the people, you have to assure the people that yes, their voice will be there. Their voice will be there. And at the same time, we see that our Lok Sabha, okay, it is discussing on everything. It has the prime responsibility to discuss the matters of national importance. Okay. So Lok Sabha is having the prime duty. It is having the prime duty to address the matter of national importance. If government would have dedicated 1 or 2 days entirely, if the parliament would have dedicated 1 or 2 days entirely for just listening to what the students are saying, to what the demands are there, then this entire problem could have been solved in an amicable manner. They should have listened to the people, they should have listened to what people are saying. So parliament is not here to dictate what the people will have to do. Parliament is there to listen to what the people are saying. You have to understand that the power is not in the parliament. The power is not in the president. The power is not in the judiciary. The power lies in what? Constitution. And what is the source of the power of the constitution? It is written there that we the people of India. So the people of India have got the constitution. That constitution have given the power to the parliament, to the judiciary, to the executive. So power is not here with the parliament, judiciary or executive. The power lies in constitution, and the source of the power of the constitution lies with what? The collective people of India. So if people of India are demanding to hear something, it is the prime responsibility of all the three segments to do so. There was also a comment by one of the organ of the government that we don't have the time for it. So what is their time for? If they don't have the time to listen to what's going on in the country, then why they are having the time? What is their time for? So again, the thing is, if they are not having the time for listening to the grievances of the people, what are they doing? Anyways, we are having 5.5 crore cases pending in the judiciary. So again, what we see that they have to listen to the demands of the people. They have to listen to the grievances of the people. So this is one of the part which we have to understand here in this article. Okay. Now we are not having any questions on this. Last day I have given you this one question. Okay. Last day, okay, there is one question. Does social media strengthen democratic participation or deepen political polarization? Both of them. It is both of them. Second thing is, I am a crime scene forensic assistant and work closely with police, and during these protests. Yes. So that is what is Bihar. That is something which we call as Bihar. देखो, of course, नहीं, this is not contempt of court. This is not contempt of court. Contempt of court is when you are criticizing a particular person. When you are criticizing a particular person, the judgments which are there, you can have a viewpoint, or the sayings of the judges, you can have a viewpoint on that. That is not the contempt of court. The contempt of court will be when you are demeaning the court, when you are demeaning the persons who are involved there in the court. Okay. So that is not contempt of court if we are simply saying that we do not agree with a particular thing of Supreme Court, or we do not agree with a particular viewpoint of Supreme Court. So that is not contempt of court. Okay. Contempt of court is different. Don't worry about it. I know what to say, what not to say. Okay. Somewhat law I have also studied. I have got enrolled in law twice, although didn't complete it, but I know a little bit part of it. Okay. So let's see this one thing. As global uncertainty becomes the norm, India's success will depend on combining flexible diplomacy, strong domestic capabilities, and continuous economic reform. Discuss. So last day I have given you this question. So how many of you have written it? कितने लोगों ने लिखा है? I am good, Nilu. How are you? How was your paper? Results are there yet or not? I know I have smartly mentioned. No, there will be no such action. So how many of you have written this answer? And Nilu, how was your exam? Like, I think your exam was done in the month of May itself. So right now it's July. Results are not there, no? Okay. So now we have this one thing. You cannot do this. See, the question is about this. As global uncertainty becomes the norm, India's success will depend on combining flexible diplomacy, strong domestic capabilities, and continuous economic reform. Okay. So what we see here, that when we are talking about this, in the introduction, you can give a brief about the present challenge, ongoing conflicts. You can give a present ongoing conflicts. That is one of the part. You can just mention this one thing. That present ongoing conflict. Then we will make a second subheading, the challenges for India. The challenges for India. And here, since the question is about diplomacy and everything, you know the context of it. So you will mention this one part, that the West Asian crisis, West Asian plus the European crisis. So from both angles, try to show that what are the problems which we are having. What are the problems which we are having? That is something you have to mention. Then again come to the next part, that what will be the possible solution for it. In the solution, we have seen that there is a solution with respect to diplomacy. Okay, that what we need to do in terms of diplomacy. Then second thing is our own capability, domestic reforms. Domestic reforms. So in diplomacy, I have given you the main idea last day, that we don't have to be idealistic. We have to choose a realistic path. We have to be flexible. We don't have to be rigid in our ideology. We have to go for flexibility. We have to become adaptive. We need to engage. We need to engage with multiple partners. We should be ready for diversification of our alliances. Okay. So that will be the diplomatic reform. The domestic and economic reforms, we have seen it. We have to build our technological capability. We have to strengthen our national economy. We have to go for innovation in the country. So this is the one part which we have to write in the solution phase. Okay. Now in the conclusion, you can mention about the Atmanirbhar Bharat. You can mention about the Atmanirbhar Bharat, or you can mention about this strategy for Viksit Bharat. Strategy for Viksit Bharat by 2047. Okay. So you can mention that the roadmap which we have outlined in strategy for Viksit Bharat by 2047. So these are the right steps, or these are the correct steps in this direction. We need to further modify it from time to time as per the evolving needs of the country. Yes, multi-alignment strategy. देखो, we need accountability of each and every person in the executive. That has to be done by parliament mostly. But when the parliament fails, of course, in a democracy, it can come through citizens also. I hope that's clear. We have written the other one. Okay, we will discuss that also. So tomorrow we will meet again. Tomorrow we will discuss questions. Okay. See, today we have discussed these three editorials: securing the Babel Mandeb Strait, the trade deals, and the voices of the youth. So these are the three topics which we have discussed, and plus at the same time we have discussed that portion of answer writing. Okay. So I hope it is clear to everyone. Any other thing which you want to be like, we are trying to do some answer writing on daily basis. We are also covering the editorials. Okay. So I would like to know from your side that how it is going on so far, how it has been going on so far. Are you having the mains consolidation or not? Next week on Monday, I will try to bring a list of the topics which we have done so far. So, please, Nilu. Yes, you can say that. So, I will try to bring the list of a topic on next Monday, and we will try to see what topics we have completed so far. So that we can have a consolidation. We can have a consolidation of the topics. So try to make that list from your side also. गैप के बाद रीस्टार्ट करना मुश्किल हो रहा है. Yes, I know it is quite a difficult, it is quite a challenging thing, but what we see here, when you have to restart, I will suggest you start with those things which are very much interesting. कोई एक सब्जेक्ट होगा, कोई एक टॉपिक होगा which will be very much interesting, so try to start with it. तो उससे आप स्टार्ट करो, वो आपको हेल्प करेगा. योर हिंदी क्लास विल बी देयर एट 6 PM टुडे. आज जो हिंदी वाली क्लास होगी वो 6 बजे होगी. आज जो हिंदी वाली क्लास होगी वो 6 बजे होगी. अगर अभी 7:15 का अपडेट है, दैट विल चेंज. टुडे द क्लासेस ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स विल बी इन द इवनिंग एट 6 PM. मैथ से, हाँ, तो यू कैन स्टार्ट विथ मैथ. इफ यू आस्क मी लाइक व्हाट टू स्टार्ट विथ, जैसे मुझसे आप पूछो, तो जनरली like suppose if I have to read, I start with history or polity. Okay. But if you want to start with math, if it is good for you, then please start with math. And stay connected. Gradually over a period of time, over the next week, you will feel that you have not left it. You are still in the same race. How can I make distance from ongoing politics? Do not watch Instagram. Do not watch Instagram or Facebook. You will stay away from that. Do not see the status of people. I know it's one part which is going on, but if you want to stay away from that, you can do it. Video has become private. Okay, I will see that. I will ask the team and then I will let you know. Okay. एक बार बात करके फिर बताऊंगा. अच्छा, you cannot do the answer writing. No issues right now. You can do it later. Okay. So just go with it. You will do it later after a certain period of time. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time, and then we will discuss further things. Take care. Thank you.